Hello everybody, and welcome back to SheffPlays, the official first review for Cold War Zombies, being D Machine. We're going to do our usual pros, cons, rating, recommendation, and call it a video. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is a super solid starting map on Treyarch's part, and it seems game after game they have yet to fail that. All their starting maps are generally like really strong right out the gate. Sometimes they can get old, but it usually just depends on how long the first DLC takes to come out. But not counting that, just in general, they are super strong. This one is no different, having Noctur and Toten dead in the center of it. And like kind of modernized is really cool. The round 10 method, which you can really do on any map, but this map I feel is the best for it, is you don't open any doors and you just stay in the first area until round 10, stock up your cash, and by the end of round 10, when you got one zombie left, you'll have about 25 to 30 grand, depending on the power-ups that you get. And it's just a really solid method, and it can make you go straight to Pack-a-Punch if you only get like one perk or you don't get a perk. And it just, you can get 2 Pack-a-Punches right out the gate. Or right out the gate. Before the first Megaton shows up. The armor zombies. Now, I don't remember if these are on every map or not, but I do know they're on here for a fact. And it's weird because I feel like that's normally something I'd nitpick, but with this one I enjoy it. It just kind of adds a level of difficulty once you start to get in the round 20s, where zombies start to wear armor plates and helmets, and it just adds a little bit more of a challenge for the further you get. Another bonus is the Hound rounds. These always will get a +1 from me because it's a nice little break of pace and you get a free max ammo from it. Most of the time, not just this game but other games, sometimes I've had like glitches where the max ammo doesn't spawn. But for the most part, like 98% of the time, it does happen, and it's a nice thing to have, so you don't have to spend money on the ammo, which is something you can do in this game, which is really nice. Again, Noctur and Toten being in the center and modernized is a really cool touch. I really like that, although they did miss the opportunity to make it its own map at some point. Even if it wasn't right away and they had done it like further on in the game's life cycle, it would have just been a nice little map to have. Next is the plane, and I know it's probably just a direct reference to Noctur and Toten, because if you played the original, or I think they have the cutscene in Black Ops as well, your character crashes in a plane and ends up in Noctur and Toten, and that's how that map starts. And it's just really nice to have, but I do also have that in the cons, but I did want to mention that I do like that reference. It has a solid training spot where the plane is, like right underneath it. You can train in here, I've done it before, but there's a lot more obstacles in the way, I guess, and it can definitely be tough. You can train right out here, which I've done a ton of, and again, multiple opportunities. Next is Free Jug. You saw me do it earlier in the video, where you activate a little Easter egg that causes zombies to dance, and then they drop you some salvage, some equipment, a weapon, and a free Juggernaut, so you don't have to spend the money on it. Which is definitely a nice perk to have in this game. And lastly for this map is, all the ground-based maps have it, but I do want to mention it because this is the first map we're talking about, is if you look up at the round number, you'll notice it has lightning all over it. That's because I activated the Rage Inducer. Now the Rage Inducer makes the zombies a lot stronger, a lot faster, way more aggressive, and it lasts until about, it says 35, but it feels more like 25-ish. But either way, it can make the game a lot more sped up and make it so it takes a lot less time for you to get things done. And if you just want to do a quick game, there's not really a ton of small map options on here for round-based. Well, not really any, but it is a solid thing. Now for the cons. Too many Megatons. The Megaton is the mini-boss on this map, and it spawns. It's not as frequent in the earlier rounds, but once you start to hit double digits, it feels like it's there constantly. And I think I expelled on 25 or 26, and it felt like I was getting one like every round or every other round. That might be too often. I'm not sure. It felt like it was happening constantly. Next is the plane. I know I said this was a pro, but it's also a con in the sense where it can really mess up a train. If you go onto the plane with too big of a train, they'll start jumping on the wing, and it can kind of throw off the separation, and it can definitely end things really quick. And next is the ending, which you will see in a minute here, where there's no ending. Like there is when you exfil, but it's just a helicopter flying away. It doesn't feel like you succeeded anything. It doesn't feel like you really did anything too substantial. Like older end cutscenes were dramatic. They were intense. They had a point to them, but this doesn't really feel like it. But yeah, rating wise, I think I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. A solid kickoff, fun, and it can be really quick if you know the routes, like escape routes and everything. But yeah, I do highly recommend it. And I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. See you in the next one. Until then, keep surviving. And again, I do recommend this one. If you have the other maps, I recommend Firebase C, but we'll talk about that one more when we do it. But yeah, and see you in the next one.
Landing at Alpha Site. Beginning extraction. Extraction successful. Leaving Alpha Site.
Solid work. RTB for debrief.